we already know the T.J. Watt contract, right, which was the big one for the Steelers, and then Kelvin today. Just thoughts about Micah Parsons and the Cowboys, and we know what Jerry Jones. Can you just spell out what we
so
got
the conversation, there was a Yardbarker story, which
makes sense because one guy signed, right.
They didn't break anything in the sense that everybody's had to hear. Here we go again. So the thought process is, here we go with T.J. Watt getting that, and you and I have agreed we're going to call it the $108 million deal. The 108, not what they said. The guaranteed portion of it, 4 years, 108, $41 million a year for T.J. Watt, who obviously we know is amazing, but he is also older, a handful of years older than Micah Parsons. So your logic goes to, well, Micah Parsons has been just about as good, just about as prolific, a lot younger, and he's playing in Dallas. So that payday gots to be crazy, and therein lies a conversation, Rob, that the Cowboys done did it again. The Cowboys, this is the issue. The definition, Rob, of insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. And really, that's exactly what the Cowboys keep doing. They keep doing the same thing, playing around in free agency. You ever had a leak, something going on at your house? Man, we got to check on this leak. We got to look at this leak. And they say it's going to be about $300. And you're like, we'll wait. All right, you might not want to wait, sir. It could get worse. And you get worse and they got to come back and that $300 goes to $3,000. That's what the Dallas Cowboys keep doing. You know you've identified your stars. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons. Pay the men their money. And what they keep doing is waiting around, trying to find a better deal, trying to finagle. Maybe they'll get a hometown discount. And they end up getting screwed over to the tune of $60 million. They got to pay Dak Prescott. They had to pay more money for CeeDee Lamb.
Would you have to do that over again? They wouldn't do that.
100%. And it's not that he's a horrible quarterback. It's just he's not worth 60. But when you keep waiting and you have no more leverage, or you see the other guy get the bag, and that's what happened with CeeDee Lamb. You see other receivers get their money. Then you're forced to pay CeeDee Lamb a bunch of money.
Well, you want to set the market, not you know what I mean? Not
exactly.
Have to pay
you want to be early. All right, I'm making it up. Here's $32 million, and then now somebody else has to go higher than you. You want to set it. But no, they keep waiting, and I just don't understand for them to be such a big organization, understanding money, trying to do something different, because, again, definition of insanity, doing the same thing over, and you keep doing this. You keep stubbing your toe, wasting money when you know you've identified the guys you have to keep, because Jerry Jones ultimately pays these guys. So I genuinely don't understand it. I don't get it. But it also is the reason why they've been perpetually a good team at best, a mid-team more than likely over the last 30 years because of moves like this. And the common denominator is what, Rob? Jerry Jones.
Right.
What you going to do? Get rid of the owner? He owned it.
Yeah. That's why this is not a shocker at all. This is Jerry, and there's a reason that 32 years have gone by. They haven't even been forget about going to the Super Bowl, but even playing in a conference championship. I mean, that is insane when you really think about the way the NFL's set up, and all he ever does is wait, and it costs him. And I just cannot understand it or figure it out. But, again, it's Jerry, and he's done this over and over and over again. And, if you're not going to do it, and I mean pay him, then you should trade him. And there was a little talk at one point, right? The Cowboys had more holes than a golf course. So maybe they were better off in thinking, like, we could get a couple pieces, you know what I mean, and get this thing righted so to give ourselves a chance. Obviously, you don't want to give up a player like Micah Parsons, but you got to give to get sometimes. And if you're not going to pay him, as soon as you can pay somebody and you identify them as somebody who would get that kind of a deal, you should just do it. Early is always better, because even if it's a mistake, it's lower than waiting. It's a lower price than waiting. And you've seen enough, even though the defense has been awful, starting with that playoff game last year against Green Bay, right? Terrible. And they were terrible to start the season, the defense. But ultimately, you're crazy. I just think my question is, are they waiting? Are they debating? Do they really want to sign Micah Parsons? He's into the podcast. I don't know. I still believe that the best move would be to trade him. He seems to be into other stuff. The defense hasn't been that great. You could get a haul for him. there are plenty of teams that would take him. If I'm the Cowboys, I think I might entertain that, and I would move on.
They're not going anywhere for him. And the problem is, he loves them. You and I have sat up here and talked about how he cutting himself short. Remember, I told my agent on his podcast, I don't even care if we got to lose money. Let's just get the deal done. I want to stay here. Whoa. What you hiring me for? If you're going to do all that, ease up off the podcast and let the agent. And so he's already said that. I think he's in love with them. They're in love with him. And here's the crazy part. I mean, as much as he's been in the lexicon for us sports folks now talking about him, dude is only 25 years old, which is absolutely insane. How young he is, how prolific he is. He's 26 years old now. Now he's 26. But even last year, Rob, he was injured, nicked up, banged up, only plays 13 games. Dude comes back and gives you 12 sacks. That's how good he is. 2 forced fumbles, 30 solo tackles. I mean, the numbers
but the defense wasn't good.
True, but you can't let go of a 26-year-old guy that good. Jerry Jones would never allow himself to do that because if Mark,
but you didn't win. You didn't win with them. So what?
They're going to go back to 2 seasons ago when they had a chance. They had a great record. They're 13-3. They're going to look at that and say, when we're fully healthy, Dak is healthy, Micah's healthy.
They still didn't do anything in the playoffs. But my point is.
Don't talk to me like I'm Kelvin. Talk to me like I'm Jerry.
No, I'm just saying, like, unless you really could shore up a couple other positions, like this team isn't close. And now you're in a division with the Eagles, right?
Yep.
And the NFC's not a pushover. There's a lot of good teams, whatnot. Everybody except the Lions might probably not.
I can't even hear you. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know you can't hear. I know you can't. But you get my point. Is they have other issues. Would you agree with that? And I know they had some injuries, and you want to believe in Dak and all that. They got to fix that defense if they really want to have a shot. I get it. Yeah. And I get the Micah Parsons. I know how much talent he has. I don't know. It just seems like he's preoccupied with other stuff as well.
But he still comes to play, and he's too young. And I'm annoyed with the podcast. You remember getting in beef with players, Marcus Lawrence, when he left, or talking about other people's salary. He's done a bunch of goofy stuff that I don't like with these podcasts. But now you're looking at a situation, just to go back to the top of the conversation, where we know TJ got $41 million annually. Now you're looking at a situation where, again, because they've waited so long, they might cost themselves where he might make $45 annually. And you can say, well, it's only $4 million. But $4 million is huge because that $4 million can go to another defensive back you could assign. That $4 million can go get your running back, so you don't have to revisit Ezekiel Elliott type situations where you got to spend a block on an old Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, they're saying that he could get up to anywhere near $200 million because of the TJ Watt deal and the Myles Garrett deal. You let those two guys get in front, and they're older than him. So now his agent can really say, look at those guys. He's about the same talent as them, and they're older than him. Pay the man some crazy money. So once again, Jerry Jones has put himself, to me, in a deficit and put himself behind the 8 ball where he's lost money that he could have used to, as your point is, fill these holes and build up a better team.